Hello out there in YouTube land. This is Charlie Barley back at you with another video. As I promised, I have a student who is probably making me a little jealous. His name is Sam, and Sam has really been excelling very well with the mentorship program. And I wanted you guys to hear from him because he's going to be upfront. He's one of those upfront and honest guys. And you get a chance to. I'm going to show you screenshots of the of his winnings and also what he sends me every day because he's very diligent. He's extremely diligent when it comes to practice and following instructions. And if you can simply do that, I swear to you, you can do what Sam is doing. So I'm gonna call Sam right now. I have him on the phone. Let me get him on the phone right now. And we're gonna talk to Sam for a minute. If he answers. And if he doesn't ring, okay. All right, so let's give him a minute, and I'm gonna try and call him back because I did say to him that I wanted to do an interview with him. So it's actually 11 o'clock, actually 11:02, and so we're just 2 minutes out. But while I'm waiting to get him on the line, let me just kind of go through a few of these, and you can see where he's posting the date. He's going to where this is I think is his bankroll. And I didn't really get all the screenshots because he sent me this in my phone, and I uploaded it to a few of them to my computer. So I pulled off a few of them, 225, and he had a couple that he did a lot of writing on. Let me see if I can get to that. Here is what he sends me all the time, like his goal. All right, here we go. Here he is now. Hello, Sam.
Hey, man, I'm sorry about that, man. I'm in the clinic, and there was so much noise. I didn't hear the phone. I said, oh my gosh, I hear the phone. I said, oh, it's 11 o'clock. Hold on, let me put my headpiece on, right? Hold on.
Sure.
Okay. You there?
Yeah, brother, I'm here. Hey, man, listen, before I get started, I'm just letting you know right now, I'm already recording. So
Okay.
I've already
All right, no problem.
hey, okay, so I've already introduced the call and we're just
Okay.
talking just straight up. But
All
Sam,
right.
so let's go from man, I don't even know where to start with you because it's like every time we talk, it's always it's really blowing. I mean, it hasn't. I guess it's blowing my mind because it's one thing when you know you can do it, and it's one thing if like I could show like right now on the screen, I'm showing your receipts, right? It's one
Yes.
thing for me to show it and say, okay, this is what I did. But it's another thing when I'm now showing my students doing exactly what I'm doing and what I'm teaching.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
bro, let's talk about the last 2 weeks because I have 3,000, 5,000, all these thousands of dollars of vouchers you sent me.
Yes.
Bring me up. Tell me what happened, how it all came about.
Okay. As I said, I told you that I'm going to do everything that you say. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to blame you. Okay. I also told you that I had a specific goal. Can I say my goal?
Say again.
Is it all right for me to say? Is it all right for me to disclose what my goal is?
No, disclosure goal.
Okay. I told you that I wanted to make $1 million by the end of this year. And you said, okay, because I'm sure you've heard a lot of people say they want to do something, but they're not willing to put the time in and the effort to do it the right way.
Right.
So we got this ball rolling. I said, I'm going to take it on the road. And I went on a road trip last week. And for 4 days, I was in Pennsylvania at Parks Casino. And in that 4-day period, using your system only, following the plan to the T until I got to a point where I was feeling so happy, I got in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what happens when you get in the way?
Yeah.
I was giving money back to the casino, giving back. And I said, no. I've come too far for this. And I said, well, let me just pack up my bags and go home. I have one more day. I had given up a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, tomorrow, I said, God, if you just give me one more chance. I prayed, man. I said, give me one more chance. And I promise I will crawl using the smallest denomination on the board to try and recoup as much as I possibly could. And the next morning I got up, got myself together, went back over there, and literally I used only the numbers game. No high, low, just the numbers game. And I used 50-cent bets to cover the board. And I'm going to tell you, I always cover the zero, okay? I always cover the zero just for security. And Charlie, it just kept coming. Like you turned the faucet on and water just kept flowing. The profits are coming. And I said, I can stay here literally all night and do this, but I had to go because I had to catch a train back to New York. So I cut it short, but I was able to recoup enough money to feel satisfied. I recouped up to $7,000, went home, gave you the information, and the rest is history for that portion. So, got back to New York on a Wednesday, and I was just thinking and studying and thinking. I said, you know what? I don't ever want to go back into a casino where you use the random generated number system.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a casino up here in New York that has really beat me down over the past years. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go in there and I'm going to run Charlie's system. But I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to let at least 5 to 6 numbers go through first until I see none of my numbers have come up, and then I'm going to start betting. And I said, I'm not going to waste no money, no time. I'm only going to use $200. And last night, boy, it was like Niagara Falls. The money just kept coming. The $200, I did 19. Really, I did over 2,000.
You know
but
what?
I had to pay. Yes.
Here is the receipts for that. I'm looking at them right now.
Okay.
Yeah, 14 burn RNG.
Yes.
Let's go. Yeah.
Yes.
40 minutes playtime.
Right.
Wow.
Right. On one of my tickets in New York at this casino, when you have a jackpot, you have to go up, and then the IRS issues. But I don't want to get involved with that. But I have someone there that is there all the time. She plays, and she has no IRS issues. So I gave her the ticket, saying to cash this out for me, and I gave her 10% of it, and that was cool. But last night, like I said, it was like Niagara Falls, brother, and it was exciting.
Yeah.
Now, a few of my coworkers are just their head is torn up over all this. One of them has already contacted you. I shot them pictures of everything I did last night. And they're like, I can't believe this. I'm in, man. I'm in. I said, listen, it can be done. But like Charlie said, it's like driving a fast vehicle. You will hurt yourself if you don't respect this. You will literally hurt yourself because you'll become so excited that you start giving the money back to them. But I have made up in my mind that is never, ever going to happen to me again because I know my boundaries now, and I see the signs. And when the signs are going negative, I know how to back up now.
Right.
And that's where I am today.
Man.
I'm gonna tell.
Awesome.
I got to say one other thing. I sent a text message now to the guy who contacted you, Charlie. One of my coworkers. I said, man, in hood vernacular, I feel like a stick-up kid taking advantage of vulnerable people, and that individual who played the vulnerable individual was the casino. And I enjoyed every minute of assaulting him.
Dude, Listen, man, I'm trying to tell folks. One of the reasons I'm doing these videos, these interviews, is because people really believe. I always go back to the analogy where I say we can fly to the moon, but we can't beat roulette. Like, it's the dumbest mentality a person can have. And the reason why they have that is because they just don't know better. The reason people often blame everyone else but themselves is because they don't know better. But it's like when you learn, like you've learned it. One of the things that you said is that you use the mentor program, but
Yes.
what you also incorporated was the numbers game.
Yes.
Because when you study, now we can't tell them everything, but am I right or wrong when I say this? When you really get the mentorship program, when you understand the basis of that, when you start
Yes.
paralleling the numbers game with it, it opens it up for you, doesn't it?
Oh yes, most definitely.
Right. But it
No
takes
doubt.
but you know what? I'm gonna go to this real quick slide. But here is the thing that the difference between you and the reason you're excelling like this and the reason others may not be as good is because of what I'm showing right now. You sent me like for 3 weeks straight every day. This what I'm showing on the screen of all of your practicing, all of your analytics. And I'm just showing you guys just one sheet. This is like a couple sheets. But when I tell you it's I, my email, my text message is full of all of this because you sent this to me every day. And I said, I always would tell you, if you keep up this consistency and this diligence, at first when you told me $1 million, I said, you know, it's possible, but I don't know, man. I don't know if you're that diligent and you prove me wrong. And right now, you're probably right at about 10,000 now, right? Totally.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So and this has been since you've started. Was it 2 weeks now? You've practiced for well over a month. But when you
Yeah.
started, and your practices was just like this, and if he had ever had a question or anything like that, he would let me know. Because like you told
Yeah.
me, you were gonna hold me accountable.
Yes.
And that's exactly what I said. It's like Sam's gonna hold me accountable, and it's exactly what I'm like. Hey, if you're not gonna get it, hey, hold me accountable, and that's exactly what you did. And you sent this to me every day, and you stayed diligent. And right now, within 2 weeks or less, you're at 10,000.
Yes.
Yeah, and
And you know what, Charlie?
sure.
And you know what? And you said, I said I'm gonna do everything you say, and then I have to also be held accountable because now I have to do everything you say.
Mm.
I got to follow it to the T. And I've decided last week, self is never ever gonna get involved with this again, man.
Yeah.
Never, never. I cannot derail this train, man. It's
Yeah.
moving too fast, and I want to keep my hands on the wheel and follow all the road signs.
Let me ask you this, Sam. Why do you think people? I have my reasons why, and I do videos and I talk about the psychological ploys that the casino play to create emotions behind the game. But we had a conversation not too long ago. You were saying, remember when you said that you were up almost 10 and you went down because it was just so good, and then you was like, hey,
Yes.
I thought about what you were talking about about discipline when it becomes so easy until you forget. But then
Yes.
talk to me about playing without emotion. Like, how does a
Okay.
person do that?
Okay. You have to hit your head hard, man. And you have to realize, first of all, I realized that I've been doing what you told me to do. And then I took my mind and I took my mind off of the goal, and that is to stay on course, do what the plan says. Like you said, and I realize there's so much now that the system will give you the money if you will let it do what it's supposed to do.
Mm.
But if you get involved, if you jump ahead of yourself because you're getting too excited, the money's coming, you're like, wow, this is great, and you want to get more, then that factor of greed, which is, everybody has a little bit of of greed in us. But
Mm-hmm.
if you just stay the course, it's going to come.
Yeah.
It's
It's
going to, the system is going to give it to you. I use an analogy with a friend. I said, you know what? It's like if you sitting in front of a plate of delicious food, you can only eat so much at one bite.
right.
But in this system, this game, sometimes it's beginning to be so sweet that you're trying to shove it down your mouth, and you know you can't do that. You choke.
You'll choke, right?
And this is what happens. But if
Yeah.
you just eat one bite and then sit back and patiently wait, that's another thing I'm going to bring out. Patience. You must have patience, people. Just watch the numbers. Let the system work for you. And when you see the opportunity come for you to pounce like a cat on a prey, then you pounce. You start playing those numbers. Start playing them. And they're going to hit. They're going to hit. They are going to hit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's the patience part, man. And you know, to speak of, to compound on what you're talking about, the patience, I was thinking the other day, you know, I'm always really analytical and I always think really deeply about why we do what we do and the behavior behind most people who play this. Um, we all live in a money game. Like Steve Harvey told this to Monique. We live in a money game. Well, he's right about that. It's a money
Yeah.
game, and every one of us are going to take a risk in anything we do. Some people are going to take really, really low risk, and they're going to go get a job. And but the exchange of this low risk is that they're going to lose their entire one life. That's the exchange. And if you're willing to give up your one life for a life that you don't know what's next after this life in exchange for what you call security, you, sir or ma'am, are the one of the greatest fools walking. I'm just here to try and set you free in your thinking because this game eliminates the risk that you would have in anything that you're going to do for money. And it sounds crazy. I know this guy's making this large appeal. You know, these guys are having this. And again, that contract that we have, and I tell everyone, prove me wrong. And Sam, do you think it's possible to even prove this? What way could it be proven wrong?
If you don't do it.
Well, I guess you're right. If you don't do it correctly.
No, really. If you don't do it, if you sit back and just be a negative Nelly, if you're a female, okay, or just a hater,
yeah,
and say I'm not, and just don't want to follow it. That's the only way. But people, this is real, and I challenge everybody out there. If you just get self out of the way, make up your mind, and put the pedal to the metal, put blinders on, and just take your time, because it's gonna come.
Yeah,
I'm no different than you. I'm not special. I just know how to listen and follow instructions.
Yeah. Yeah, brother, that's the biggest thing. People try to do their own thing, try to do it their own way, see it through their own lens. And if you've been seeing through your own lens and your lens hasn't been working well for you, completely get rid of that lens and just listen. Right. Completely just listen. I mean, to the T of, like you said, I'm going to listen to everything you say, because if what you're saying is wrong, then I'm going to hold you accountable. Go to that extreme. Right. And that's exactly what you did. It's exactly what we just did an interview with Will. Will, I don't think you've talked to him yet, but you're going to. Will is the guy who's the casino dealer. And
yes.
So he and Don hooked up recently, and Don looked at a few of his games. Have another guy, or Jermaine I just talked to earlier, was having a similar issue of going back to old ways of thinking. So we kind of corrected him. But William just talked about how he's now where you're at. He sees it. He says, you can't lose. And so he's shooting for long-term growth the way I teach it. What you've done, the reason why I'm even allowing you to make all this money right now is because it's early. Because otherwise I would be telling you to slow it down. But the reason why it's okay now is because it's early. Like, once
Yeah.
you hit like that 6 months of this, then what we're gonna do, we're going to we're gonna still play high, but we're not gonna spend nowhere near the amount of time. So
Yes.
and then we'll spend less time, more much higher limits, and then just consistency. But anyway, man, I'm not gonna keep you long, man. I'm gonna wrap this video up.
Okay. Can
Sure.
I say one more thing before you get off?
Sure can. Go ahead,
I'm
bro.
this is what you call being hung by the tongue. Okay, I'm going to put this out to everybody.
Mhm.
All right, I don't know if you've heard me before. This is my second time on, but I told one of my coworkers who wants to come on board. He's watching. I said, "Listen, what I did last night, which is Saturday night, I said every night from now until Thursday, I'm going back to resorts." And I'm going to try, I am going to duplicate the profits, okay? Meaning that I'm going to make at least $2,000 a night. I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to do this because I want to be able to be in a position in the next 2 to 3 months that I'm doing 10,000 a day. Okay, now this is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hanging myself with my tongue. I'm gonna have to come back and show you the results, and I'm gonna prove because if you follow the system, it can be done, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Bottom line.
burn the boat, baby.
Burn the boat,
We
baby.
ain't going back. We ain't going back. We're going to take this island, and we're not going back, so we have no choice. That's why I said burn the boat.
Burn the boat. We're not going back. Man, thank you so much, man. Thank you for being a great student, and just thank you for being diligent because, as you know, this is not easy for me because I still have to deal with people who are not as diligent and who are in it for the wrong reasons. And you've just proven when you do it the right way, when you follow instructions, when you follow through, good things come to you, and good things have been coming to you. And I look forward to the future. To the next time, folks, listen, if you want to hook up with us, cool thing is that I'm nearing my mark, so I don't have many slots left. So if you are interested, you might want to come sooner than later. Once I get my crew, this is all over. It won't be anymore. I will take everything down off YouTube.
Wow.
But the permutationspro@gmail.com, you can reach me. No, I'm dead serious, bro. Like, I can't continue to do this. Like, I love it, but keeping up with people is a lot. I just need a small crew, and then once that small crew is done, then we're good. But for those who are interested, permutationspro@gmail.com. Send me an email. Also, you can go to permutationspro.com, and I have like bundled stuff, a lot of different strategies that are really good. I mean, and you use a lot of them in between a lot of the stuff that you've learned in the mentor program. So if you guys are interested in that, check all that stuff out. Until the next time, I'll be doing more interviews. Actually, I have another video. I'm actually going to show a really cool strategy that you can use, something I haven't posted on YouTube yet since I've even been on. But it's really cool, something that you can use to, make a few bucks here and there. So continue to look out, more interviews. And you guys heard it. Sam says he's going to be back in maybe a couple more months, and we're going to see where his money's at. Okay? All right, guys.
Okay.
Thanks again, Sam, brother.
All right.
All right. You guys take care. We'll see you next time.